Hello everybody and welcome back to a very awesome episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and that is where we get to try out the Aeroplane Heaven's B-25 Mitchell. This is one of my favorite aircraft from World War II, so I'm super excited to try this one out, so stick around. One app designed to do it all. Hangar Control brings everything together. Control bindings, hardware configuration, mod and profile management, application launching, add-ons, config files, and more, all managed from a single application. Mods Hangar goes beyond just mods and add-ons. It manages profiles, config files, text files, backups, snapshots, and helps keep your community folders clean and organized. Application Hangar launches your entire sim stack with a single click. Your Stream Decks are fully controlled through the Hangar Control plugin, while all of your other Stream Deck plugins remain active and available. Built by a simmer for simmers, Hangar Control adds new features and hardware support every week based on community feedback. It's a one-time purchase with lifetime updates, no subscriptions. You can try it for free for 5 days with no restrictions at overkillsimulations.com. Just create an account, head to your account page, download the latest version, and get started. And if you're looking for in-depth Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft tutorials, check out my Patreon site. Links to Hangar Control and Patreon are down in the description below. All right, folks, as I said, I'm super excited to check this one out. Now, this was actually built for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. However, the developer has stated that it has been fully tested and vetted with inside of 2024. But it's important to understand that it was not built natively for 24. It was built for 2020. All right, so wanted to get that little disclaimer out of the way. This was not provided to me, by the way. I purchased this with my own money. Once I found out it was out, I got excited for this one. This is a really cool airplane. So you guys can see we're in the B model here, also known as the Doolittle Raider, if you will. I believe the 25 went all the way up to the J or the H. J or K, excuse me. I can't remember what the final version of the aircraft was, but very, very awesome. High-performing aircraft. It was fast. It was low-level flying. You could really get it down above the treetops and just turn and burn. The modeling and painting and artwork on this aircraft seems to be absolutely phenomenal. Just a really gorgeous job. Let's step back for a second here. Just look at it. Now, don't get me wrong. I think one of the most aesthetically pleasing and one of the most aesthetically gorgeous aircraft ever created is the B-17, specifically before they added the chin turret. The chin turret, in my opinion, the later models of the B-17 made it look goofy, in my opinion. But the B-17, by far, I think, is one of the most aesthetically pleasing aircraft to ever fly the skies. However, this one's right behind it. I really love this one. This one and the B-26. The B-26 is another really cool one. Very similar aircraft as far as overall scope and size. So let's go ahead and jump in the cockpit. It's just as gorgeous in here. Check this out. They did a really, really beautiful job in here. By the way, when it comes time to actually go flying, we're going to jump into the Pimax Crystal. We're going to check this thing out in VR. So we'll be using the Crystal Light today, talking about some of the great benefits of the Crystal Light as well. Oh my gosh. Look at this. They did a stunning job with this particular aircraft. Now, I'm going to give you guys a heads up right now. We're going to be cheating today. We're going to be cheating. We're going to use the hot start. I want to hear the sound. I want to fly it. I want to know how good it is. That's what I'm really after for today's particular review. This is, and again, this wasn't solicited. This is just, I'm really excited about this aircraft. I want to fly it. You also do get this little guy here. If you flip that switch up, you get this thing here. Now, I have figured out how to go to a station. It's a station camera, and you can cycle between them, right, by pressing this go button here. But I don't know how to get back is my problem. So I will warn you, we're not going to be checking those out today in the video, because last time I went to the nose turret, or to the bombardier station, excuse me, and it was really cool. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go. Here we go. Wait, no, how to do it? I think you have to just select the two, I think. Oh, no. How did I do that? How did I do that? No. Okay, well, I hit a button earlier and that worked. Oh, there we go. There's the top turret. How cool is that, though? But see, like, once we're up here, I can't find a click spot to get back. I can't get back home. I'm lost. So, this is cool and all, but I can't figure out how to get back home. Look at that. Isn't that neat? It is still really cool. So yeah, this is what I ran into earlier. I couldn't figure out how to get back to the cockpit. So now, being fair, I have not read the documentation. So like I said, I wanted to get in and fly it. So that's really what we're going to do here today. I want to see what happens if I jump out of the cockpit and go back into it. Does it take me back to the damn turret? It totally does. Which means I'm going to have no choice but to restart it for this particular part. And we're going to avoid that for the rest of this particular flight, so that way we can fly. So I'm guessing there isn't a particular click spot that you can use to get back to the pilot seat. I'm guessing that there is a keyboard command or something similar to it that would return you. And I imagine that is all perfectly well documented inside the documentation for the aircraft. But yours being the stubborn, difficult pain in the ass that he is, I'm not going that far. I want to fly it. So we're just going to hit the restart. Here we go. We are also flying out of Henderson Field, also what would have been Midway Island. Had to drop in that monster kick. There we go. All right, so let's get in here. I'm going to get the Pimax Crystal Light up and running, get us on our head, and so we can go flying. So stand by. Okay, now I am not sure how she's going to do with VR. It's the first flight in VR for sure. So let's see what we get here. We're going to pull that. That should unlock those. And now is the part where we cheat. But let's get those windows open so we can hear it. Where is it? You? Yep. Here we go.
Using cache type positions.
Both engines, good start. Beautiful. All right. So let's look around here. Where is the parking brake? They're redepressing, so I'm missing something. That locks the that's a control lock. Let's see here. Is it P?
Modifier activated.
Oh, what?
Modifier off. Modifier activated.
I don't know what that does. All right, let's fly. Parking brake released. Oh my gosh, this thing is cool. Seems like there may be a couple of texture issues when it comes to things like some of the surfaces are really shiny. Like look like they have chrome where chrome wouldn't normally be, kind of thing. But still, all in all, this is stunning. And again, this is one of my favorite aircraft. B-25 for me is right up there with things like the P-38 Lightning, the B-26. Just sort of class of aircraft all on their own, you know? They all stood out differently. I have to say, Pimax has done an amazing job with the Crystal Light. With the Crystal Super, the big screen Beyond V2, and all the other competition that's out there for it, I would still say that if you're just interested in standard seated VR, the Crystal Light is probably still the way to go. It has 90% of the bells and whistles that most seated VR pilots are going to use. Got a nice wide field of view, and it really makes experiences like this fantastic. Hang on, I gotta bring the backrest of my chair up a bit though. That's my chair. Oh, there we go. Sounds are phenomenal. Nothing like the sound of a radial engine. On the Visibility inside this cockpit is fantastic. Legibility from the VR headset is perfect for this. I can't wait till we can get it down low and scrape some treetops. Alright, let's see here. You know what I didn't think to look at was the windsock. It's alright. It's gonna wing it. Taxi back taxi down the center line, excuse me. So far the ground handling is just phenomenal. I think between the sounds, the cockpit view, and again in VR there's just no comparison. I think that's why VR is such a hot topic right now. Is if you've been flying like I was before VR, right? Been flying on 2D monitors for so many years, you think, nope, I'm perfectly set, I'm content. And then even the first couple times you may get into VR, oh, it's cool, but you know, not really for me. The more you start getting into it and the more you allow yourself to tweak it and fine tune it to your rig and your system, there's just no going back. And I think that's why I keep coming back to these VR videos as well, doing the review of these aircraft inside of virtual reality, because there's no, I think VR shines the most in, of course I did. Of course I did. I back taxied to the wrong end of the runway. Oh well. We're going to take off with a tailwind. Good thing we have a lot of runway. Anyway, I keep coming back to these VR videos because I think flight simulation is, I think it takes the greatest advantage of VR. The depth perception, the overall situational awareness. You'll find, even if you think that you have really hot shot landings, wait till you do it in VR. You know, and then coming back to the different headsets that I've gotten the opportunity to use. I mean, I've been doing VR ever since the Oculus CV1. Which, for those who don't know, is pretty much basically the founder of VR, if you will. Alright, let's see here. So we are doing a tailwind takeoff. But we have plenty of runway here. We're a relatively light aircraft. Let's get that window closed. Alright, here we go. This is how they did it on the Doolittle raid. Max power. What do you say in the movie? Max power! Here we go. We're looking for about 110. Oh boy, we ain't gonna get it like this. There we go. Come on, baby. We're also heavier than they were probably in the VR. Hey. Whoa. Whoa. Why did we lose all rudder authority? Okay, that's not good. I don't know what happened there. mph. 110. Rotating. We definitely would have failed the Doolittle raid. Nice easy climb out. Gear coming up. Off the rudder pedals, let her settle in. Whoa, what was that? There you guys go. Alright, we pulled our manifold pressure back a little bit. RPMs are in the green. Now I will tell you that you can operate the bomb bays. Bomb bay doors. You can change positions as you guys saw earlier, although I haven't figured out how to switch back. And again, that's on me, because I haven't read the documentation yet. It's funny how that can usually be a bad thing, to try to use something without using its documentation first. But I wanted to fly this one. And so far it is a gorgeous experience. Absolutely stunning experience. The sounds by Echo 19. Very, very good sound developer. Every time I see audio being developed by Echo 19, I get excited. I just wish they would do these aircraft for DCS. And it's not that they're not obviously welcome in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I mean, put combat aircraft in a combat sim. The mouse cursor is going to drive me nuts. How awesome is this, man? Because some people in my Discord will probably want to know, it bound with Hangar Control, just using the standard access and bindings. Ooh, God. Anyone in the bombardier seat would want to poop right now. Look at that, dude. We are turning 240 miles an hour. 10 feet off the water. I'm scared to look out the side windows. Like every time I look out, like I get that sense of, uh-oh. You guys imagine you and a couple buddies turning and burning in DCS world in a B-25? How cool would that be? But even this, man, this is so cool. This is so nostalgic. What it must have been like to fly these things. Especially flying them like a fighter, you know? That's essentially what they did. The Doolittle raid. Gorgeous aircraft. Just stunning. Look at the sheer size of that propeller. All right, what do you say? Should we try to land it? God, this is gorgeous. You guys, I can't recommend this aircraft enough. This is a really good experience in virtual reality. Beautiful. Like literally, it's beautiful. There's something very beautiful about flying this aircraft right now. Something different. I can't put my finger on it. The sounds certainly are making a very huge difference. And being over the water. Clouds are cool as hell. Like, this is a really peaceful experience. It's flying beautifully. I mean, you have to fly it, you know. I wouldn't say it's probably got the most, you know, authentic flight model in the world or anything like that, but, you know, you have to fly it. If you let it, you can definitely tell it will get away from you, for sure. But the experience so far is fantastic. How gorgeous is that? Look at that. Look at that. You know, not gonna lie, I can't remember which one I took off from. Was it the first one or the second? Second. This time we'll land in the right direction, I think. Doesn't really matter to me. What it must have been like coming back from those missions, freezing your tail off, scared, anxiety through the roof, PTSD up the wazoo like I can't even imagine, and then finally coming out of the clouds or off the horizon and seeing your home field. Like even now, if you listen to the engines, they sound tired, you know, like it was a long day at work. That's how I think a lot when I fly these. I think that's why these older aircraft are so much fun to fly, is that if you let yourself think about what it was really like, there was nothing comfortable about them. You know? They didn't have all of the amenities and things. I mean, I think, gosh, the B-29, I think, was the first one that was pressurized of the warplanes. Might have even been the first of the pressurized cabins. So awesome, dude. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna go flaps 1 just to help us maintain here. Watch your altitude. Keep our airspeed about 135 right now. Flaps 2. Start looking for about 120. Gear coming down. $125, looking good. Got a little low there for a minute. Bringing it up a little. Let's look for about 500 on the descent. Flaps again. Going for full flaps. Flying on the visual now. Ooh. Ooh, we're in a fight. We're in a fight. What's going on? Come on, baby. We got this. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. There we go. Bring it left. Power off. Bit of differential braking to bring her back over. We're at full left rudder. Rudder authority definitely doesn't seem to do much at those low RPMs, which makes sense. Ooh, buddy. Oh, easy. Alright, my friends, well, that is the Aeroplane Heaven's B-25 Mitchell. This is the Bravo. I believe they also have the Juliet as part of their package. This would technically be the same variant that was used in the Doolittle raid. Absolutely fantastic job. They did a beautiful job with this aircraft. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this one. I can't put my finger on it. There was something very comforting and calming about flying this aircraft up there. That was really cool. I don't know if it's just the sounds and the way it was feeling with the water and the cloud cover. Like it was definitely the perfect combination of all the right pieces in the right places, if you catch my drift today. That was a gorgeous flight, absolutely stunning. You know, I will give Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 that. I mean, just anybody who tries to compete with the graphics, you're going to struggle for that one, but it was the whole package that certainly made that a really, really fun, really relaxing and yet exciting flight experience for a simulation. But anyway, folks, as always, you know the drill. You guys can pick this up at justflight.com or using the Aerosat or Aeroflight, I think it is, tool they have. You can also find it at their website. I think it was right around $35 US, give or take. Keep in mind, I have barely scratched the surface of features that exist on this aircraft, and that this is certainly an aircraft that probably has far more than what I have even had the chance to express yet on it. Ready for it? Here we go. Not too bad. Anyways, guys, as always, you know the drill. Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.